Stage 34 should be completed and the scale should be memorized, right? So I was supposed to teach the scale 7, but teach the scale 7 means that you must learn the sounds, right? It means nothing more than that. So allow me to take you to the scale so that I can say the sound to you. I don't know anything about the reader. I think attempt the reader as well. So do what you can, and then do the page number 34. Page number 34 is more important. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So take the next chapter and then. Where's the ladies that give the homework? MashaAllah. So the next scale is the 7th scale or the 8th? 7th. So the 7th scale would be in fa'ala. Let's read it. In fa'ala yanfa'ilu infi'alan munfa'ilun munfa'alun infa'il la tanfa'il. This actually shouldn't have a munfa'alun. Isn't it so? The 7th scale should not have a munfa'alun. Isn't it so? The 7th scale doesn't come in it doesn't come in majhul. Majhul doesn't apply to the 7th bab. Isn't that so? I'm the teacher. Excuse me. So my understanding is that the seventh scale doesn't come in, but you can deal with it with Mala later. For some reason, he has munfa'alun here, right? But I don't think he will ever use this word like munfa'alun. Allahu a'lam bisawab. But let's leave it. Let's learn it how it's easier. You can always erase it from your mind, or maybe it's just for the flow of reading. It could be for any reason, right? Maybe I'm wrong also. In fa'ala. Let's read 2 more times. In fa'ala yanfa'ilu infi'alan munfa'ilun munfa'alun infa'il la tanfa'il. Again, in fa'ala yanfa'ilu infi'alan munfa'ilun munfa'alun infa'il la tanfa'il. What is the speciality of the 7th bab?
It's majhul.
No. One of the things is it makes the word intransitive. The other thing is immediacy. It's like involuntariness. I don't know if that's a word. So it's like inqalaba means like it turned over. Infajara, it burst open. It's like the scale of infa'ala is the scale of involuntary action. Yes. Infataha, it's just opened, burst opened. Inqalaba, it just turned over. Right? Imbajasa, it gushed forth. Infajara, it burst open. Right? Intalaqa, it moved forward. So that's one of the meanings. It's one of the meanings. So do this, so complete this worksheet as well. In Bajasa. Supposed to be in Bajasa. That would be a typo. It's very tedious to type these books out. Extremely tedious task to write any book with i'rab. It's a very, very tedious job. Very tedious job. Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Doesn't this bab mean that the action is forced on to someone?
Excuse me, we just have Mona Zakaria here for a moment. Yes. Yes.
So I think what we're going to do is that we will
Hmm.
If you have any Greek word, try to leave for the Latin words. The class will that's all. You smoke it about good question. Good question, you just come I'm gonna come with no break.
Hmm. Okay. So Mullah said that you know Mullah Zakaria's disciple, right? So Mullah says that we've been informed that there's nikah here. So we've abolished the break for today, and we will run, inshallah, the periods through. So at 10:15, there will be a period change, and we will run until 11. Then possibly that will be, I think my understanding is that will be the end of the day, inshallah, 11 o'clock, right? So arrange with the mummies and daddies that must come pick. Excuse me. Normally that's what you tell the children when you this must arrange the periods, right? So yes. Okay, so we have, so this period is going until quarter past. That's a long time. Quarter past. Oh, yes. Excuse me. What was the question?
No, my understanding was that this Bab 7 is something which is forced on to be done or to be turned or to be made to gush forth or to set off or to be shed. It's made to do that, therefore it's sort of kind of a majhul verb.
I see what you mean. I see what you mean. So what you must understand is that when we say majhul, then at the very basic meaning of majhul, we imply that the doer is unknown. We imply that the doer is unknown, right? Now, over here, in a sense, the doer is unknown, in that the verb happens to the thing in raf. So if we say in fajar al hajaru, like that, in fajara al hajaru, like or in fajar al ma'u, let's say that water burst forth. The water is actually bursting forth. But what makes the water burst forth? It's not itself. So the water is not jumping out of the rock, meaning that the water is not doing the action, but the water is also doing the action. Do you understand? The water is not doing the action in the sense that the water is not voluntarily doing the action, but grammatically the water is the fa'il. You understand? It's like fariha. Fariha means to be happy. You're not causing yourself to be happy, but you are the experiencer of happiness. However, in terms of when we say fariha Zaid, who's the fa'il? Zaid. Even though Zaid didn't cause himself to be happy. You understand? That's what intransitive means. That's what intransitive means. It means that you're experiencing the verb and you are grammatically the doer, but you're not causing it upon yourself. Right? So the water is experiencing gushing forth. And grammatically, the water is the doer because it will occupy the position of rafa. However, the water is not causing itself to gush forth. You understand? Does that make sense? Okay. So I can see why you would get a feeling of majhulness about the verb, but it is because it's intransitive. And that's what intransitive means. It means that the doer is experiencing the action, but it is only the doer in grammar. It is not the doer in cause, right? Fariha, to be happy. Ghadiba, to be angry. You can't say ghadiba, he was angry, right? Because ghadiba, it's a feeling, right? So the feelings are generally intransitive. So if you want to make a feeling transitive, you have to take it to another bab. أغضبه, he caused him to be angry, or غضبه, he angered him, right? So in fa'ala has type of the same thing. It gives an intransitive meaning, right? I hope I didn't like kill the meaning and make it confusing, right? Okay, so yes, so we learned the 7th scale, and then you can complete number 34 as well, and then you can do the next chapter of
Which one? Last question, sorry, on this Bab 7. So when it's intransitive, there's no real maf'ulun bi then.
Yes. Intransitive, there won't be a maf'ulun bihi, right? There won't be a maf'ulun bihi. The same like a feeling. What's it? He was happy upon. So if the verb is happy, then what's the done upon? What was happy did? In meaning, it can't have a verb, a maf'ulun bihi. So you would be correct in saying that.
Could one say that he was made happy?
He was made happy. Yes, you can say that, but we wouldn't use it like that in Arabic. Perhaps in English you could say he was made happy, but we wouldn't use we wouldn't say furiha. We wouldn't say furihu also. We would say furihu. We'd put it on the 2nd scale. We'll put it on the 2nd bab, and then we'll make it majhul. But we won't make it majhul on the 1st bab, because feelings cannot be majhul on the 1st bab. Feelings cannot be majhul on the 1st bab, right? Okay. The next part of this was supposed to be Quran.